Good afternoon. Here is the national news from BGI TV, Baba Bagide Imo TV. I am yours faithfully, Moluwe Regina Lawal. The national news for the day, 25th February 2022. The headlines are the first object. Russia-Ukraine war. Stranded Nigerians send SOS to Kwara, demand evacuation. Federal Justice Ministry frustrating anti-graft fight, says Falano. Police arrest Shore in Abuja over alleged fake news peddling. Court orders immediate release of IPOB members. Court remands 23-year-old for stealing newborn from Kwara Hospital. Poor people assume I'm white, long thread. Now the news in detail. Several Nigerians, mostly students who are in Ukraine, are currently stranded, even as Russia continues to attack the Eastern European nation, the Punch has learned. This is as the National Association of Nigerian Students in Ukraine sent out a Save Our Soul message to the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, seeking immediate evacuation from Ukraine. The acting president of the National Association of Nigerian Students in Ukraine, Eunice Leaka, pleaded with the federal government to come to their aid. In a letter to the President titled Matter of Urgency, Letter of Request to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday, the student said cities occupied by Nigerians were under attack. The letter read in part, "Greetings, Your Excellency, we are the executive body of the National Association of Nigerian Students, Ukraine, NANS, Ukraine. We write to you with regards to the current Russia-Ukraine conflict, which has finally risen to its maximum early this morning, being February 24th, 2022, as gunshots and explosives have raided the territories occupied by the Nigerian citizens. We plead with Your Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari, to please send for an immediate evacuation of the Nigerian students currently in Ukraine. We can only trust and wait on our great nation, giant of Africa, in this perilous time. It will be of great honor if our request is deliberately considered and met with urgency as it calls for. Forever this kind of fatherly gesture would be engraved in our heart. Thank you so much in anticipation, Mr. President." Eleka, who has found our way out of Ukraine, told the Punch that many other Nigerians were stuck because of the cost of the flight ticket. She called on Nigeria to come up with a proper evacuation strategy like India. I'm sure most students really wanted to leave too, but the flight ticket got really expensive and the need to leave then seemed impromptu. I heard some cities still had their classes offline, but we were ensuring every school goes online. Specifically, she said the Indian embassy has set up 2 different camps to evacuate Nigerians who are stranded in Ukraine. Back to Nigeria. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana on Thursday said the Federal Ministry of Justice had yet to prosecute a corruption case since 2015. He added that the ministry had deliberately ended many corruption cases in the country by filing an application called Nolle Prosecute, which means the government is not willing to prosecute them anymore. He spoke at the Edal Resource Center's Anti-Corruption Situation Room titled State of Anti-Corruption in Nigeria, Assessment of 2021 and Agenda for 2022. Falana said the Ministry of Justice has not prosecuted one corruption case since 2015. The President must be told this. On the contrary, some of the cases are deliberately destroyed by the ministry through what they call prosecution or prosecute. Falana also said without the passage of all pending anti-corruption bills at the National Assembly, the regime would not be taken seriously with its fight against corruption. He said, without the passage of all pending anti-graft bills at the National Assembly, this regime cannot be taken seriously in its fight against corruption. Also speaking, former chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Financial Crimes, Kayode Oladele, described the arrest of the suspended Abba Kyari as a ploy to deny him from being extradited. He said many politicians had deployed the strategy in the past. Still in Abuja, the police in Abuja on Thursday reportedly arrested activist Mr. Omoyele Sowore of the African Action Congress over an allegation of fake news peddling. A statement signed by the National Publicity Secretary, African Action Congress, Femi Adeyeye, the party under which Sowore ran as a presidential candidate during the 2019 election, said that Sowore was arrested just after stepping out of the court where the chairman Party leaders and members are conveyed to witness the party's case against Independent National Electoral Commission and US President. Showere is said to have filed an appeal against the ruling of the Federal High Court that declared Leonard Ezenwa the acting chairman of the AAC. Adeye said the activist was taken to the former Special Anti-Robbery Squad, adding that the officers did not give any reason for his arrest. It was gathered that the arrest followed a petition titled "A Petition Against Sahara Reporters Foundation and Mr. Omoyele Showere for Criminal Defamation, Injurious Falsehood Publication of News Known to be False Contrary to Section 391, 392, 393, 394, 395, and 418 of the Penal Code of Northern Nigeria by former member House of Representatives Prince Ned Omoko through his lawyers, Truford Law and Partners. The petition signed by Brian U. Okeago on behalf of the law firm accuses Showere of several defamatory statements on his news outfit, social media handles aimed at running down their client's business and political career. According to the petition, the publications were believed to be done recklessly with no honest belief in the truth of the said words, stating further that the quoted statements have elicited intense apprehension of an imminent attack on his plans. To some IPOP story, a high court of the Federal Capital Territory in Gudu district of Abuja on Thursday ordered the Inspector General of Police and its intelligence response team to immediately and unconditionally release a member of the indigenous people of Biafra, Jude Obasi, while asking the IGP and the IRT to immediately tender an unreserved apology in two national newspapers to Obasi. Justice Modupe Osho Adebiyi consequently awarded a sum of 5 million naira as reparation for the gross violation of the fundamental rights of Obasi. The court gave the judgment in the fundamental rights enforcement suit filed by his team of lawyers led by Ifeanyi Ejiofor. Obasi was said to have been arrested on the 9th March 31st, 2021 from his residence at Nnewi, Anambra State on suspicion of being a member of IPOP and kept in their solitary confinement without access to his lawyers, relatives, and family members. Reacting to the judgment, Ejiofor said every mechanism would be put in place to ensure that the judgment was obeyed. He said, "Be assured that we shall activate all the machinery of the law to ensure that this judgment is obeyed to the letter and most promptly. There is no hiding place for a golden fish. There is an order of a court and it must be obeyed, and times stipulated thereat must also be complied with in full." To another court case in Kwara State, a magistrate court sitting in Ilorin has ordered that a 23-year-old lady, Nike Olabi, be remanded in the Federal Correctional Service Center for allegedly abducting a newborn baby at Abuja Hospital, Omwaro, in Irekodun local government area of Kwara State. The prosecution alleged that Olabi, a native of Kwara in Federal local government area in Osun State, allegedly perpetrated the act when she visited the hospital with a pretense to facilitate with a patient, one Blessing Alabi, who delivered the baby through cesarean operation. The prosecution alleged that the accused person picked up the newborn baby, backed up, and started leaving the hospital premises before she was caught by one Rachel Alabi, who was the mother-in-law to the baby's mother, Blessing Alabi. The police forced information report further revealed that the hospital closed-circuit cameras captured how the defendant was roaming about the facility greeting patients who had not a relation with a view to study terrain and perpetrate the evil acts. The prosecutor, Inspector Adewumi Johnson, prayed the court not to grant the accused person bail since the accused person was charged with child kidnapping, which was not ordinarily bailable. He ordered the court to grant the prayers contained in the motion expected and remand her in the correctional center. Chief Magistrate Soliu Mohammed ordered that the accused person be remanded in the Federal Correctional Center. And to the last story, which is coming from the sport angle, new Super Falcons defender Ashley Pomtre says she is proud to represent Nigeria, the country of her father, over England, where she was born, saying people always thought she was white. The Leicester City defender had represented England on the 23 team, but requested to switch nationality from England to Nigeria, which FIFA approved in January. Pomtre debuted on a winning note for Nigeria as the Falcons beat the Ivory Coast Lady Elephant 2-0 in the first of their final qualifier for the 2022 Women's Africa Cup of Nations. In an interview with BBC East Midlands, the 23-year-old said a lot of people had always questioned our heritage. It's always been an assumption that I'm white, said Plumtree. I got a lot of messages and people question my heritage a lot, but I can't necessarily blame them. It comes down to education. What people see is what they think. People don't want to have a conversation or want to consider anything deeper than what they see. That was the national news from BGI TV. But before we go, a quick recap of the headlines once again. Russia-Ukraine war. Stranded Nigerians send SOS to Buhari, demand evacuation. Federal Justice Ministry frustrating anti-graft fight, says Falana. We're also brought to you, police arrest Kwara in Abuja over alleged fake news peddling. Court orders immediate release of IPOB member. Another one from a court angle. Court remands 23-year-old for stealing newborn from Kwara Hospital. Lastly, sport. People assume I'm white. Plumtree. Thank you for watching the news from BGI TV, our YouTube channel, and the handle is Baba Bagide Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell to enjoy all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagide Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page to enjoy the broadcast as well. On Instagram, Bagide Imo _22. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and function, the phone number streaming on your screen is a direct line to call for adverts. Keenly. Thank you for watching. I am Mobiri Rabila Nawal. Jumat Mofida to all Muslim brothers and sisters all around the world.
Oh, na na na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just tune to BGI TV. BGI TV, you're one in a million.